So folks, we are busting out the gameplay commentary here one more time, because I'm going to admit I got a lot of unused NHL 25 gameplay footage at hand, and I'm just thinking to myself, a lot of this was recorded back in May and June, and it's not really all too beneficial for me to get rid of the gameplay, even though you might think, oh yeah, well the new game is out, NHL 26 is available, so why don't you just get gameplay for that game and use it instead? But the thing is, firstly, I'm not in Canada right now. My PS5 is all the way back in Vancouver, and I'm here in Taiwan for the next few days, so I don't actually have the opportunity to firstly get the game, secondly be able to play it, and thirdly be able to record it. So I'm kind of stuck in no man's land with all this gameplay from the old game. And secondly, we've already known about this for years, but I always get comments from y'all in the comment section below, hey, we don't actually care about the gameplay, it doesn't really matter what's there, we want to see your face, or we'd rather see Streamlabs, or something like that. So, with that in mind, it's like kinda, alright, well it doesn't really matter what video game is in the background, this isn't necessarily a gaming channel, even though it used to be that all those years ago. Even with the gameplay in the background, it's more so just a hockey commentary channel that for most of its lifespan used video game footage in the background. So, yeah. Rambling about video games in 2025, as if anybody really tuned in to this channel for the gameplay in the first place. But with that being said, I'm coming to you live here from a very noisy Taiwan and an apartment whose windows do not close, hence all the background car, truck, and construction noise being available to hear, to bring you a commentary about Montreal. Because Kent Hughes might just be one of the best leaders in the NHL amongst the GMs that run these teams. Earlier yesterday, the Montreal Canadiens posted this YouTube video on their YouTube channel. Behind the scenes at the 2025 NHL Draft, inside the Canadiens draft meetings. It was a very interesting look with some behind-the-scenes footage of Montreal's room when they were making their draft selections and the conversations that led to these certain decisions. And within it, there was a very particular part of the video that I thought stood out more so than everything else. This was cut and posted onto the Montreal Canadiens subreddit by GoHabsGo31. And the title of the post reads this: Kent Hughes calling Ivan Demidov to get his input before drafting Alexander Zharovsky. Now, of course, Ivan Demidov is Montreal's 5th overall Golden Boy from the 2024 NHL Entry Draft, and Alexander Zharovsky was their 2nd-round pick and the first pick that they actually made at the 2025 NHL Entry Draft. We've made a bunch of videos about Zharovsky and the profile that he has and the skills and all that. He was over a point per game in the MHL this most previous year and played in Salavat Yuleev KHL's playoff run, and he looked pretty okay. I mean, Zharovsky has a lot of potential, and he was a potential first-round worthy pickup. We made a video after the draft talking about how the Canadiens liked Zharovsky so much that they might have even taken him in the 1st round with their 15th overall pick or something, had they kept those draft picks from the Noah Dobson trade. It's quite outstanding to see how things went in regards to Zharovsky and his play. But this Habs behind-the-scenes video features Kent Hughes calling Ivan Demidov to ask Demidov about Zharovsky before the pick is actually made. And, of course, we know why he's doing this. Demidov and Zharovsky were childhood friends. They were young Russian dudes growing up and playing hockey together, so of course Kent Hughes is probably aware of that. He asks Demidov on the phone, hey, Zharovsky, is he a good kid? Is he a good guy? Hard worker? No trouble? To which Demidov takes a little bit of a second to respond and says, yeah, this guy's a good guy, he's really talented, he's really skilled, good work ethic, good guy in the locker room. Demidov says that Zharovsky has skating, hands, shooting, lots of really good things. And Kent Hughes takes Demidov's word and then drafts Zharovsky afterwards. Now, at first glance, that might not actually seem like that big of a deal. Okay, Kent Hughes called Demidov to ask him about Zharovsky before the Canadiens actually took Zharovsky. But you gotta think about it a little bit deeper than that. Because I'm not gonna say that Ivan Demidov's comments about Zharovsky are the reason why the Canadiens drafted him. Like, that's probably not the case, right? We're not going to assume that Montreal would not have drafted Zharovsky had Demidov not gotten involved and said something. They probably already had in mind, okay, this is our guy, we're going to draft this guy, it's our pick, we want him. But imagine what that says about Kent Hughes, to call one of the younger guys on the team, their brand new rookie out of Russia, to call him and ask him, hey, we're thinking about doing this, what do you think? Not even to imply that Demidov's comments were the straw that broke the camel's back, but it's the message that Kent Hughes sends to Demidov through this action, as highlighted by this comment on the Reddit. Imagine how Ivan Demidov feels to be really part of the team when the GM calls him for an opinion. You're one of us, we value what you have to say. How many kids in the NHL are asked their opinion? He's not just an orange road cone you yell instructions at. Kent Hughes is really building a great team culture. A reply says that's what I was going to comment. The Montreal Canadiens looked at Zharovsky all year long, maybe even more, so they know that's their guy. And this is mere minutes before drafting him, so the decision is pretty much taken already. But to include one of your young players in this process is just an amazing way to build a feeling of pride and belonging to the organization. Kent Hughes is really building something special, and it's more than words. You see it in his actions. Another reply says, I can't help but feel like Kent Hughes already knew this stuff about Zharovsky, but he saw this as an opportunity to build up Demidov's confidence and feel like he is part of building something. That's leadership from the top down. So again, it's not necessarily like Kent Hughes needed Demidov's input to make this choice. He probably already knew that's the guy they're taking, that's the guy they want, and they're gonna continue with him in their organization. But there was an opportunity to build up Ivan Demidov, to ask him for his input, to get some extra thoughts in there, and for Demidov to feel like he is a part of this organization. I'm not just a player here, I'm somebody that Kent Hughes can turn to ask for advice or input. I'm a part of building this team, and I'm gonna be a part of making it great. So for Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens, this small little tidbit of info, I think, is such a big deal, and it's one of these underrated parts of what the Montreal Canadiens have been building, not just on the ice, but off it. The culture, the openness, the camaraderie between all the moving parts in this franchise, and just how everything and everybody seems to work together. And if Alexander Zharovsky becomes a middle six, offensively capable piece that the Montreal Canadiens will cherish for years to come, if Ivan Demidov is able to exhibit success alongside of his childhood friend, then that's going to feel even more special, and Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens will be reaping all the rewards. So with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Alexander Zharovsky, the path he is going to take as a Canadiens prospect, Ivan Demidov's involvement, or non-involvement you can say, in the selection of Zharovsky, and how Kent Hughes took this opportunity to give Demidov that chance, upping Demidov's sense of belonging in the organization and his comfort with the Canadiens. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.